Welcome to the AI Queens podcast, the show where women entrepreneurs learn to ditch the overwhelm, embrace AI, and build businesses fit for royalty. I'm Erika Stanley, your host and tech expert, here to deliver tools, tips, and actionable strategies to help you scale smarter. Let's get to it.
Hey Queens, this is Erika Stanley, and welcome back to the show where we help brilliant, highly capable women use AI like the strategic tool it actually is. Before we dive into today's episode, I have to tell you, OpenAI just dropped GPT-5, and it's basically made half of what I've been teaching you completely different. But even with all these incredible improvements, most people are still going to use ChatGPT like everyone else and get the same generic results as everyone else. So today we're doing a two-part episode. First, I'm going to walk you through what's actually changed with GPT-5 and why you should care. Then I'm going to give you my 4-step framework to stop using ChatGPT like everyone else, because that's where the real magic happens. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about what's actually changed with GPT-5 and what it means for you. You have probably heard it's been all over Instagram, all over LinkedIn, all over my email inbox. But last week, OpenAI just released a brand new model, GPT-5. And the first big change is that it's switching to one unified system, meaning that you're not going to have to switch back and forth between different models anymore. It's just going to be GPT-5, and it's going to automatically know whether it should use the deep reasoning model or just the regular model. So if you want to use the deep reasoning model for sure, you can say something like, think hard about this. And that lets it know that you want to use deeper reasoning. But basically everything's going to default to GPT-5, whether you're on the Pro plan, the free plan, Enterprise, or Teams. If you already had your voice and tone really dialed in and you really liked GPT-4o, you can still go back and change your default model within the internal settings. And that's down where you click on your little, either your name or your avatar, and you can change that within settings. But they are getting rid of that within the next few weeks. So I would recommend that you just let it switch over to 5 and make any changes you need, any tweaks as you go. All right, next. GPT-5 is also supposed to be much better at coding. And if you're not a developer, don't let yourself glaze over for this part, because it's the no code thing that people have been talking about, the vibe coding. So with GPT-5, we are going to be able to create apps for ourselves directly within ChatGPT. So for example, my husband and I have been trying to go through all of the paint cans in our garage and document the paint colors before the heat wears through those little numerical values on the labels. I'm going to try and create an app that will let me scan in those paint values, just take a picture of the label, and then assign each color to a room in my house. Now I won't have to remember which shade goes where, and I don't have to take the old can with me if I need to order another gallon from Home Depot. So this is just one example, and it's a simple, silly little app. But I've also been talking to a ton of people and getting ideas for little apps like this that I could make. It's going to make all of our lives so much easier. So stay tuned, because that will likely be an upcoming podcast episode where I walk you all through how to do that yourselves. Okay, next up, let's talk about the creative writing. Within GPT-5, it's supposed to be so much better. And I've noticed that it's gotten a little bit better. Fewer M-dashes, fewer random emojis, and hopefully fewer of those comparison sentences that just drive me absolutely nuts. It's not X, it's Y. It's just so easy to tell that that's written by AI. So this new model is supposed to be better at not doing that all of the time, better at listening to you when you've got it in your custom instructions or when you've got it in a custom GPT that it's not supposed to do that, and better at self-correcting when you tell it, oh, you did that again, don't do that. So it's supposed to be better at understanding that command and then not doing it, which I know for me is a total frustration. When it puts in a ton of M-dashes, I tell it, don't do that. And then the very next sentence it gives me has 2 M-dashes in it. It's so frustrating. Anyway, it's going to be much better at that. I've noticed little improvements, and I think it will get better over time. It's also going to be much better at reading, interpreting, and analyzing the things that you give it that are non-text based. So for example, it's going to be much better at understanding a screenshot that you take from social or a photo. Now, imagine you're at a conference and you take a photo of a chart during someone's presentation. The idea is that GPT-5 would be a whole lot better at understanding what that chart is and what it means. And since you're at a conference, supposedly for your business, right? Now it's going to be able to combine that with the memories that it has of you, maybe even connect it to what you do and potentially why you would have even taken a photo of something like that in the first place, why it would be important to you. To me, those like internal memories and connections, that part's going to be really, really cool. And we'll talk about memories in the second part of this episode today. Now, I want to move on to the part that I addressed in last week's podcast. Hallucinations and math. For those of you that listen, I just did an entire podcast episode talking about how careful we need to be because ChatGPT will just make things up, including answers to math questions and important facts that it just pulls out of its ass because it doesn't know the answer. Well, GPT-5 has scored a 100% on competition level math questions, like college level, whereas GPT-4o, which is what we were all using before, scored a 42%. For hallucinations, GPT-5 is supposed to hallucinate a whole lot less, giving us fewer factual errors than GPT-4o or o1. From the studies that they've done, the hallucination rate is less than 1% on long-form concepts versus 5% or more for o1. So that's a pretty big difference. Still trust but verify. But this is looking really promising for getting rid of some of those super frustrating hallucinations where it just makes stuff up. And then on top of that, they're also trying to make it more honest. So if you ask it something and it doesn't know the answer, it's supposed to be more honest and just tell you, I can't answer that. I don't have all the information. It's supposed to be less agreeable and less overly positive. It's actually got several new personalities already programmed in. So instead of it being super positive and encouraging, you can choose one that's more blunt and direct. OpenAI says, overall, it's meant to feel like you're chatting with a helpful friend with PhD level intelligence. I've got a couple of those friends that definitely have not sounded like ChatGPT. So here's hoping that it sounds a little bit closer to my doctor friends and less like the "you're doing great, sweetie" that it's been sounding like for the past few months. Finally, one of the biggest frustrations I've had with it since they released the image model, and this is just a silly little thing, but it's a total pain. With image creation, ChatGPT will just randomly tell you that it can't create something, that it's outside of its capacity. They've apparently made some adjustments to this as well. So instead of just telling you, no, I can't do that, it will try to give you alternatives. It's trained, if it has to refuse your request, to tell you why and to provide alternatives. I just tested this out last week, and here's what I found. A few weeks ago, I was trying to get it to help me design a t-shirt in a retro tattoo pinup girl style. And it refused, saying that that was a specific art style, it's not, and too sexual in nature. Sure, bro, I've seen all of those anime style buxom broads you spit out. Don't tell me that a line drawing of a cowgirl is too much for you to handle. I just pulled the exact same prompt from a few weeks ago. I pulled it out of my threads on the side and tried the exact same prompt in GPT-5, and it didn't flinch. It created that tattoo design and even allowed me to make edits. I love it. All of those updates are based on OpenAI's live stream from last Thursday, and they have gradually rolled out GPT-5, so everyone should have it now on Plus, Pro, Teams, and even for free users, which is really cool. The free users up till now have not really had access to some of the more advanced reasoning modes. So I do love that they have rolled that out to you free users. But just like with any of the other models, you have access on free, but it's going to be super limited. I think this is kind of their little drug dealer way of giving us just a little taste so that you're going to fall in love with it and then upgrade to Plus. So if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. It's the best $20 I spend in my business every month. So if you haven't upgraded already, it is something that I recommend. And if not ChatGPT, then one of the other models that we talk about regularly on the podcast. Here's the thing, and this is why I'm doing this episode today. Even with all of these improvements, most people are still going to use ChatGPT like everyone else. And they're going to get generic responses because they're putting in generic prompts without any personalization strategy. So here are 4 ways that you can stop using ChatGPT like everyone else. Here's what I see happening. You try ChatGPT, you get generic responses, and you think, well, this isn't helpful. I could have done better myself. But the issue isn't ChatGPT. It's that you're using it like everyone else. When you personalize your AI, it becomes your most intuitive business advisor. Let me give you my 4-step framework to make that happen. Number 1, you're going to personalize ChatGPT with your brand DNA. Here's the issue. Generic ChatGPT gives you generic responses, but clear brand guidelines make AI understand your tone and your business, right? So let me show you what I mean. I asked generic ChatGPT to, quote, create an Instagram post for a brand strategist about how your brand is more than your logo, right? It's something we hear all the time. Your brand is more than your logo. So I put that into a completely blank slate instance of ChatGPT without any of my customizations, without any information on my brand. And it actually gave me a pretty decent Instagram caption. Here's what I got. Your brand is more than just your logo. It's the story you tell, the values you stand for, and the experience you create for your audience. A logo is just the beginning, the face of your brand, but it's the heart and soul of your messaging that truly connects with people. So it's not bad, but it's totally boring, totally vanilla, right? Like you sound like every other brand strategist out there. However, using my personalized version of ChatGPT with my brand voice, my custom instructions, I even used my custom GPT that we've talked about in the past. Here's what I got instead. Your brand is not your logo. And if you just felt a little called out, good. Your logo is like that cute outfit that you wear to the party. But your brand, that's your personality, your voice, your values, your stories, the stuff that people actually remember the next day. See the difference? It's the same topic, completely different energy. That's the power of personalization. Number 2, set it and forget it with custom instructions. Here's the issue I see. You're re-explaining your business info to AI every single time. Or ChatGPT remembers some things and forgets others. It knows you, but it doesn't know you. Like it remembers that you have a dog, but it might not remember the specific services that you just changed or that you were offering before your last launch, right? It's going to remember certain things and then other information kind of slides off the end. And the bad thing is you don't know what it's remembering and what it's not. But custom instructions and memories, you can set those up and they really are going to separate just plain AI users from the AI masters. You can spend the time to set them up now, and you will benefit in the long run. With your custom instructions, this is where you're going to tell ChatGPT who you are, what you do, how you want it to respond, and what it should always remember about your business. Think about this as if you're giving AI your business card, your brand guidelines, and your personality profile all at once. And the key here is being specific. Don't just say, I'm a business coach. You would want to say something like, I'm a brand strategist who helps women entrepreneurs clarify their voice and positioning so they can attract their ideal clients without feeling like they're shouting into the void. For this episode, what I'm going to do is I've actually got a custom instructions prompt guide that I will put down in the show notes. And this is one of the really cool things about GPT-5 that I didn't mention until now. It's actually really good at multi-step prompts, whereas you would do this back and forth with ChatGPT over multiple prompts. With this one, you can kind of just put it in all at once, and it's going to ask you questions one at a time, interview style, until it has enough information to help you write out your custom instructions. And within ChatGPT, to get to custom instructions, you are going to click on the little photo or the avatar or your name, and you'll go into personalization settings, and custom instructions is one of the things that you can edit in there and customize. So you will have empty little boxes where you can put the information that it's going to give you as you run through this prompt. The other thing that you will want to edit are your memories. Now, this is something that OpenAI opened up several months ago, and it's been really cool. But one of the frustrating things is that it just remembers random stuff about you. Like I said, it will remember that you have a dog, but not remember your specific business services. It will remember things, and you can control the things that it remembers in a really specific way. So again, when you go down to settings, and you're going to want to look for memories. It's kind of buried. I think it looks different for Pro versus I'm on the Teams version. But once you find it, you'll see, and you can scroll down and see all of the different things that it remembers about you. And some of the things will be applicable to you and your business, and some of them totally might not be, or they're outdated. So for example, one of the things that it remembered for me, I went on a little vacation to Mexico this summer, and it knew that I was planning a trip to Mexico. That was 2 months ago. I am back and I don't need it to remember that anymore. So I went in and hit the little trash can next to that memory. So now it doesn't need to remember that. It's not part of its core memory of me and my business. You're going to want to do that. Maybe set a reminder for yourself to go through and clean up those memories once a quarter, just so that you know that the things that it's remembering about you are still applicable. And also because your memories will actually fill up. So you want to get rid of the things that aren't great for you so that it has room to remember new things that you're talking about. Moving on to number 3, using AI as your strategic thinking partner. All right, so here's an issue that I see. A lot of people that I talk to are using AI for writing emails, writing Instagram captions, but it is so much more than that. It's so much more powerful than that. You're missing its strategic power. Here's one of the power moves that you can do, and there are a zillion options, but I have used AI to analyze my sales calls and help optimize my strategy. And you can do this for calls, you can do this for emails. I recently pulled transcripts from a bunch of my different sales calls. Some of them were won and some of them were lost, right? So some of those calls actually ended up turning into clients, which is great. And some of them, they were like, no, the time's not right, or no, it's too expensive. Using my customizations, I actually asked AI to analyze patterns and themes in those calls. And let me tell you, the things that it found, I never would have even noticed. So it identified that in my winning calls, I spent 40% more time asking about their current challenges before pitching solutions. In the losing calls, I jumped straight into talking about my services. So that one teeny insight has changed the way I structure every conversation that I have now with a potential client. You can do this with client feedback, email responses, social media comments, any data that you have about your business. AI can become your strategic thinking partner, not just your content writer. Finally, number 4, the screenshot strategy for ethical content inspiration. Okay, so here's the issue. You see great content all the time, but you can't figure out a way to make it work for you. It just doesn't feel quite right. So here's the power move. I want you to take all of those screenshots that you have saved in your phone, plus some smart prompting with AI, and that's going to provide you with perfect content for your audience, right? Any content can become your content with the right approach. This screenshot strategy turns inspiration into implementation. Here's how this works. You're scrolling through Instagram or you're scrolling through LinkedIn and you see one of those posts. If you're anything like me, you follow those people who are like, here's how to grow your Instagram account. And it's got, here are 10 hooks that you can use for your next reel. They're providing you with those hooks. They want you to use those hooks. So you take a screenshot of it and it sits in your phone just collecting dust, right? However, you can upload this to ChatGPT and say something like, I love the structure of these hooks and this post. So I want you to help me create something similar, but for my audience. And I want to talk about just something that's one of your content pillars in your brand voice. Now, if you've already set up your custom instructions and if you've already got your brand DNA built into ChatGPT, it is going to then take those hook ideas and help give you ideas that then you can use in a reel of your own. The key word here as you're doing this prompt is similar. We're not copying, we're using these screenshots that we have as an inspiration to create something uniquely yours. I just did a workshop earlier this week. It was amazing. And I follow this woman. I believe I've mentioned her before on the podcast. Her name's Molly Ballant. She is a soft business coach, which I absolutely love. It's the idea that you can be an entrepreneur and you can make bank and not fall into the hustle culture and working 60 to 80 hours a week, that you can have a soft business and still sell. And I love her Instagram. I love her posts. And so she had a bunch of ideas for different lead magnets that are not PDFs. And I just loved that post, right? It's a great post, but it's not right for my AI focused audience. However, I was able to screenshot it, feed it to my personalized GPT, and ask it to create something similar, but that focused on AI tools for my audience. And the result that I got out of that is a post that feels uniquely me and is just using that framework, using that template. It feels a little bit different than my usual content because it's got a proven structure that I know performed well for someone else, but it's got my unique angle. And I actually used the AI tech stack post that I have in Substack. Like I just copied and pasted that. That all is from my brain. It's something I've already written, something that already exists out in the world that came from me, just formatted in a way that I know works and that I know was an engaging post on Instagram. So you are taking screenshots from people who want you to use here's 50 hooks, or here's 3 ideas that you can use for Instagram. And you're using your personalizations, your customizations within ChatGPT to make it for you and for your audience. So there you have it. 4 ways that you can stop using ChatGPT like everyone else and start using it in customized ways for you and your audience. And with GPT-5's improvements in reasoning and creativity and in accuracy, these strategies are going to be even more powerful. Remember, AI, yes, it is coming for a lot of jobs, but yours doesn't have to be one of them. The women who thrive are not the ones that are ignoring AI. They're learning how to use it strategically. Personalization is the foundation of effective AI. So when you combine that with GPT-5's new capabilities, you're not just using AI, you're creating a strategic business partner that thinks, writes, and strategizes just like you. So if you want to take this even deeper, I have something really special for you. My Brand to Bot Blueprint is designed specifically for women who want a fully customized brand voice GPT plus a complete strategic blueprint for using AI in their business. We will spend 90 minutes together. We're going to dig into your business, where you've been, what you're doing now, where you want to go, your big goals. And I'm going to help create a personalized brand guide and AI system that knows your voice, your audience, your business inside and out. It's going to be like having that strategic business partner available 24/7. So you can find all of the details for this at AI Queens. Just look for the Brand to Bot Blueprint, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I also have the AI Queens Society there for those of you who are ready to use AI strategically instead of generically. Until next time, remember, you're doing so much more than just using AI like everyone else. You're really learning to master it, and that makes all the difference. See you next week, Queens.
Thanks for listening to the AI Queens podcast. If you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow queen who needs to hear this. Want more tips and tools? Join the AI Queens Society at aiqueenssociety.com and start ruling your business with confidence today. Until next time, stay bold, stay curious, and keep reigning with AI.